The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
And good morning. It is 5 a.m. on this Thursday morning. I'm Alex Fisher along with Ileana Capayan. It is nearly the weekend, and starting today, those beautiful 70s.
That you've long anticipated.
That I have been looking forward to for several days now, yes.
I'm rooting for those hotter temperatures. But
you'll get them.
Yes.
Oh, trust me, you will get them, and they will not disappoint, that's for sure. But this forecast for all of you who do not want those hot temperatures, you're absolutely going to love, and we're already noticing a difference outside. Kevin Charette joins us with a look at our forecast. Yeah, stepping outside, Kev, this morning, already feeling the chillier temperatures.
Yeah, the temperatures are going to be nice for us today, but we've got to trade it with some winds that we're going to talk about. The cooler weather coming in with a trough that's pushing through, and that is also going to increase winds. So let's show you our wind map right now, and you can see where the strongest of the winds are. We've got some strong winds out of Ridgecrest right now and over the Grapevine. In terms of the Mojave area, we're getting a little bit of a break here, but as we progress throughout the afternoon, I do expect these winds to really pick up. We have a wind advisory for the valley until 8 o'clock tonight, so I do expect some blowing dust by this afternoon. So if you have anything on the back patio that can blow away, put it away. And as we take a look at the mountains, we have the high wind warning back in place, and that will be until 11 o'clock tonight. So I do expect, again, these winds to really pick up. As we take a look outside right now, 52 degrees, north-northwest wind at 8 miles per hour. And as we take a look at the day, we're going to be in the mid-50s by 7 a.m. We'll look at lower 70s throughout the afternoon, but one thing you note here are those winds that are going to be picking up, and these are sustained winds. These are not gusts, so we will see higher gusts than that. Up in the mountains, Tehachapi sitting right now at 41. It's definitely cooler. A west wind at 16. You can see the camera shaking. And then as we take a look at the hour by hour, we will be looking at the 50s throughout the afternoon, and you can see those sustained winds by the afternoon out of the northwest at 30. And some areas could see isolated gusts near 80 miles per hour. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a bit.
All right, Kev, thanks so much. Breaking overnight, a suspected murderer is behind bars this morning following a 6-hour standoff in Southeast Bakersfield. It all started at a home on Rexland Drive just after 5 o'clock last night. Inside the home, a man who refused to come out. Officers with the Bakersfield Police Department's Special Weapons and Tactics team responded, and you can see the officers answering the call with at least a dozen SWAT officers, response vehicles, and the sheriff's helicopter that circled overhead. Hours later, video shows 24-year-old Billy Gleghorn being led away in handcuffs. Police say Gleghorn is the gunman behind a deadly shooting at the Vagabond Inn Tuesday night. Police say he also committed a carjacking minutes after the shooting. Gleghorn was booked into jail for the killing, carjacking, weapons violations, and resisting arrest.
And in education news this morning, the Greenfield Union School District Board of Trustees voted unanimously to change the name of Plantation Elementary School. In passing a resolution in favor of the name change last night, trustees said in a news release it was the appropriate time to do so due to the school's reference to social injustice of the past, foremost among them, of course, black slavery. The resolution says the name change will take place before the end of next school year after a community engagement process runs its course.
The Kern High School District is just hours away from breaking ground on its 19th high school. The district is holding a groundbreaking ceremony for Del Oro High School at 10 a.m. It's happening at the northeast corner of East Panama Lane and Cottonwood Road. Officials are expected to announce the school colors and mascot at the ceremony. It is set to open in August 2022. We'll be streaming the ceremony live on our KGET Facebook page.
And now to the coronavirus in Kern County. We've learned 3 more people have died from COVID-19 here at home. Their deaths occurred over the past 5 weeks. Public Health also announced a spike in new cases of COVID-19, with 73 more people testing positive for the virus here in Kern. State data shows 28 people are in the hospital with COVID-19 and just 6 people are in the ICU. And a reminder that we are reaching out to the community to hear the stories of those we've lost to COVID-19. We've created a special section on our website called Those We've Lost. The photo gallery is to honor the memories of people who have died during the pandemic. You can upload their photos and share their names and the memories you have of them. Just go to kget.com.
With temperatures rising and extreme or exceptional drought across the state, experts say our wildfire season will be devastating. Firefighters say it is so dry right now, the term wildfire season has lost its meaning, and we're seeing fires year-round.
We've already had over 4,000 acres burn in Kern County right now, and you're seeing that the fuel is susceptible to burn right now. And so if we're getting fires in January and we're getting fires in March, we're year-round.
First responders worry about a heightened fire risk, and because of the drought, fewer resources to fight those fires. You can protect your family from fires by staying prepared. Create a defensible space around your home by clearing up dead leaves, brush, and grass. Plus, have an emergency kit on hand and make an escape plan in case you are told to evacuate. And Congressman Kevin McCarthy and David Valadao weighed in on the dire water situation here in the Central Valley. They spoke during the virtual Western Water Forum. It was hosted by the House Committee on Natural Resources Republican Office. Our lawmakers expressed concerns the statewide water project will allocate just 5% of the contracted water supply for farmers south of the Delta this summer. This at a time when most of the state is in the grips of a drought and parts of Kern County in the worst possible category, exceptional drought.
This affects everyone. It doesn't matter what party you are in. This is the food which grows for this nation and for this world.
We need to all work together in a bipartisan manner and all look for ways to alleviate the consequences of this disaster.
Those who spoke called on lawmakers to invest in infrastructure to capture more water in wet years and prevent it from ending up in the ocean. Valadao and McCarthy warned without water, the food Kern County grows for the nation and world is in jeopardy.
And Bakersfield residents are invited to join in the fight to save energy, competing for the title of Energy Saving Superhero. Now, the competition put on by OHM Connect will award the winning city $50,000 in educational scholarships. Mayor Karen Go is joining the mayors of San Jose, Oakland, and Fresno in the campaign to scale back energy use at critical times to keep the power flowing across the grid.
They look to see where can we go get another 50 megawatts. And if we're available and online, they can use us for that 50 megawatts and our customers can participate rather than a power plant being turned on.
Each city is also receiving 25,000 free smart thermostats to be distributed to local households that choose to participate. Those thermostats automatically reduce energy use at key times. To get involved, just up the fee on your OHM Connect at ohmconnect.com.
A new rule is making it easier to apply for a real ID from the DMV. A federal rule change has eliminated the requirement for Californians to provide a Social Security card or W-2 to prove they have a Social Security number. The DMV now just requires you to submit Social Security number, no documentation needed. Proof of identity and 2 proofs of California residency are still required under the Real ID Act passed by Congress after 9/11. Travelers 18 or older wanting to board an airplane or go into a federal facility by using a driver's license for identification must have one that conforms with the law's stricter requirements. The new licenses have a star on the upper right-hand corner of the ID. The deadline to get a real ID is now May 2023.
Now to a mystery off of the California coast, UFOs. Now, a newly released video recorded by the U.S. Navy personnel 2 years ago shows an unknown sphere that followed a Navy warship before disappearing into the ocean. At least 5 U.S. Navy warships based in San Diego were swarmed by drone-like objects of unknown origin. This according to a briefing from the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force. One of those ships, the USS Omaha, used thermal imaging to detect what it looked like a sphere. It was about 6 feet in diameter and it traveled alongside the Omaha for about an hour before it seemingly vanished into the ocean. The Omaha, which was built for surveillance, could not maintain a lock on the sphere, and when it vanished from their screen, it also vanished from their radar and sonar. No wreckage was found on the surface. Lou Elizondo is a former Pentagon intelligence officer who ran the Department of the Defense UFO study for 10 years.
Why is it that we see a large frequency of these incidents occurring in and around controlled U.S. airspace, and particularly around military assets and equities? That for me is the biggest question, because you're right. from an adversarial perspective, certainly that would be indicative of some sort of show of force.
Elizondo doesn't think the unknown crafts are necessarily hostile, but the UAP task force was formed by Congress last year to collect UFO-related images and information for a comprehensive report that is actually due next month.
You know, we've seen these videos, it seems like, more frequent lately. And, you know, I mean, it's one of those things where you can have fun and have all these theories regarding those UFOs. But if you've watched any of those shows on sci-fi or any of these, you know, sci-fi movies, you do kind of have those theories on whether or not it's aliens.
It makes you wonder a little bit, right? Yeah.
Or at least it's just fun to kind of think.
Clinica Sierra Vista is now offering rapid COVID-19 testing and COVID-19 vaccinations. Call 833-278-4584 to make your appointment. But don't delay. Clinica Sierra Vista, putting patients first.
Welcome back. Forecasters are calling for more rain this week in Texas, Louisiana, and other parts of the country. Areas already dealing with flooding. High water has closed streets, washed away a dam, and claimed lives. NBC's Dan Shinneman has a look.
In Texas, near the Gulf Coast, roadways are now waterways.
The amount of rain that we have gotten just over the last 48 hours is just too much.
Some vehicles navigated the flooded streets. Others were left helpless. Near Corpus Christi, water overwhelmed the dam. Heavy rains falling in the Rio Grande Valley and in Louisiana this week, where flooding claimed multiple lives, including a man found dead in a truck that was submerged. Back in Texas, it's time to fill sandbags.
Getting out here trying to get as much as prepared for it as much as we possibly can, make sure we don't have another disaster.
That's because more rain is on the way. Dan Shinneman, NBC News.
And Kevin joins us now, taking a look at our own forecast, but also keeping an eye on the areas of Texas and Louisiana as they deal with that rain.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit of a break this morning, but again, more is on the way. This now has moved into parts of Louisiana, eventually today into parts of Mississippi, and you can see the yellow and the orange. That indicates the heavier the showers and severe weather. So again, right on the Mississippi-Louisiana border right now, but again, Texas under the gun for more shower activity as we go throughout later today. Here at home, no rain. I wish we could pick up a little bit. We're just going to remain dry. The sun is slowly coming up around the area. A little cooler today, 52 degrees to start. We've got a north-northwest wind at 8 miles per hour right now. And as we take a look at other numbers, 52 in Shafter, Wasco, 54 in Buttonwillow, and then for the mountains, 40s and 50s. Frazier Park at 50, 41 in Tehachapi, and Lake Isabel in the upper 50s at 57. Yesterday, 84 was our high. We're right on track with our normal for this time of year. Today, below normal. Our record actually 103 set back in 1942. And you can see around the state, not a lot to show you on this. We've got a few snow showers up along the border of California, just north of Lake Tahoe. And we are going to be tracking a system throughout the day that will increase our winds as well. And also is ushering in this cooler air. 42 in Tahoe, 73 in Fresno today, 70s down in LA, 86 in Las Vegas. So here's a look at our overall pattern. The jet stream is right through central California. We have an area of low pressure over northern Oregon, and then we have also an area of low pressure into southern California just to the east. That is going to increase those winds as we go throughout today, and that's why we have a high wind warning for the mountain and desert locations and a wind advisory for the valley. And you can see with this system out of the north, we are going to see some snow into the Sierra as we head into the Friday time frame, and then this will push on out. And it doesn't look like we're going to get a lot of this, but nothing for Kern County, just remaining dry. Want to show you our current wind gusts, and you can see we're still seeing some good winds north of us and out in the desert locations out near San Bernardino County. And again, this is going to only increase as we go throughout the day here. So here's a look at our weather headlines. Gusty Kern County winds throughout the afternoon. We could see some blowing dust in the valley, so keep that in mind. Secure outdoor items. If anything can blow away, put it away, because we are expecting the gusty conditions. And then valley winds, though, should calm down as we head into tomorrow. Air quality, good, AQI at 50, and we're looking at sunny skies, but again, that blowing dust, winds out of the northwest 10 to 20, and by the afternoon, we could see gusts near 30, 75 in Buttonwillow, 73 in Shafter, 72 in Bakersfield, so below normal on the temperatures. For the mountains, look at the winds out of the west, 30 to 45. We could see isolated wind gusts near 80 miles per hour in some locations. 51 in Pine Mountain Club, 56 today in Tehachapi with 60s into the Kern River Valley. And then out in the desert, sunny but also windy, a west wind 30 to 45 gusting to 75. And we're looking at 67 in Mojave. Here's a look at that extended forecast for you. And tomorrow, 73, 78 on Saturday. And then we bring those temperatures back up into the upper 80s by next week. For the mountains, we're looking at 50s to hang on through tomorrow. A little bit windy. Saturday, 62, 70s return by Monday. And then for the Kern River Valley, there is a slight chance of a shower tomorrow in the Kern River Valley under mostly cloudy skies because of the position of that next front. And then you can see the warm up next week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll be back into the 80s. So getting the cooler weather, but also going to be dealing possibly with some winds this afternoon.
You know, we're going to be live at CSUB tomorrow, and we've all been talking about how we're going to have to bundle up.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit cooler tomorrow morning
yeah.
for sure. Right now, it looks like those winds for the valley should relax by that time, so we'll have to keep a close eye on that.
Still a change of pace from what we've been having this past week.
Yeah, most definitely. A little bit of a change.
All right, Kev, thanks so much. Making headlines around the nation this morning, a Virginia sheriff's deputy is being called a hero after lifting a car off of a woman. Body camera from Deputy Jay Holt shows the heroic act. The driver was laying underneath the vehicle with her head pinned by the sunroof. Deputy Holt took quick action and was able to physically lift the vehicle up enough for the driver to maneuver her head out to safety. This is not the first time Deputy Holt was called a hero. He recently accepted both the local and regional Top Cop Awards after saving the lives of 2 people burning from a home last year.
And part of a major interstate closed down yesterday morning after a police chase ended with an airborne crash in South Florida. The driver of that SUV losing control, clipping 2 cars, then flipping on I-95 north of Miami, all in a failed attempt to flee Florida Highway Patrol officers, but succeeding only in closing down the road during the morning commute. Now 2 people worming their way out of the wreckage through the shattered glass of the back window, with 2 more inside, officers yanking them out through what appeared to be the side windows. There's no word on why officers were chasing that
That's
SUV.
some intense video there for sure.
That's insane. Look at that, just trying to save those people and get them out of the cars. So, into other news, are you willing to pay millions for a 10-minute ride to the edge of space? The first phase of an online auction for a seat on Blue Origin's space tourism rocket brought a high bid of a $2.8 million. Blue Origin, owned by Amazon's Jeff Bezos, will launch its rocket called New Shepard for the first time with passengers on July 20th. New Shepard can carry up to 6 passengers to the edge of space. The first manned flight will include 5 astronauts and the winner of the online auction. The next phase of the auction has begun with unsealed online bidding. A live auction takes place June 12th.
Would you do that?
I might. I mean, I don't have $1 million to bid on it.
No, but if it was like a free flight, would you do it? Would you
live
try
life
it?
on the edge, right?
Literally, literally the edge of space.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Back now in your 17 Business Watch, Ford debuted their new all-electric pickup truck, the F-150 Lightning, last night. With a nod to the past, the company embraced the future by kicking off its planned $22 billion global electric vehicle plan by reinventing the brightest star in the Ford fleet, the F-150. The supercharged vehicle, with a price tag just under $40,000, even has the capacity to power your house if needed.
And that's what today is all about. Reinvention and improvement. Forward and upward. Technology, not for its own sake, but to make people's lives better.
The Ford F-150 Lightning will be built in Dearborn, Michigan. Pop-Tarts is releasing its very first mystery flavor, complete with a chance to win Pop-Tarts swag or even a gaming console. Beginning this month, Pop-Tarts Mr. E will be available at retail stores nationwide in both 8-count and 16-count boxes. To enter for a chance to win those prizes, fans should scan the QR code on a box to visit the sweepstakes entry site. Boy, did I love Pop-Tarts as a kid.
Me too. That kind of reminds me of Airheads. Do you remember when they had the mystery
yes.
flavor?
Yeah, the mystery flavor. Yeah.
I loved those. It was great.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.